Hello, welcome everybody to this video. In this video I have my Rustler 4x4 Ultimate sitting right in front of me, and we will be replacing the spur gear. I will be showing you the easiest way to replace the spur gear, because it's not complicated, but yeah, you just need to know how to do it the first time. So hope you learn something in this video, and I'll start right ahead. So to start, all we are gonna have to do is remove these two screws. So it's, wait, let me point it at. So it's gonna be this screw right there and that screw right there. And then on the bottom it's this screw and that. I have already removed them just to speed up the things. And now what we're gonna do is we're just going to slide this rear end out. So now, after you have split your chassis, this end we will not need, most likely. We can just put this away somewhere safe. And now we could turn the car around, but so we now see this. So this is our spur assembly. It hooks up to our slipper clutch. This is our center drive shaft with the pin. And here's our spur. We can see our pinion sitting right there. When we now just slide this up, you could have to do some wiggling, but this one came right out. And the car almost fell. You will have your spur here. So there is a chance your bearing came out, but my bearing stayed in there. Watch out you don't lose it, because without, the car will just not run. And you'll keep stripping spurs whenever you give it some trouble the first time. So in my case right here, I actually snapped off two half teeths. So I don't know if you can see it. So there. Yeah, the camera, I don't know if it's focusing that well. So I just wiped off the lens, so maybe you can see it better now. That one's missing, and that one is missing. So what we're gonna need is, we're gonna need the TRX 3956. You could also get the stronger versions. They also sell like the X made of metal, but I'm gonna replace it with just the plastic one. So this is a 54 tooth mod 0.8 spur. Now we can just put the car away, and we're gonna grab our spur and a 2mm hex wrench, and we're just going to remove these three bolts, little bolts. So when you remove these, I'll be right back. So when you remove these, you can just dump the screws out. Make sure you don't lose them, and also make sure not to lose this plate. If you have a normal Rustler 4x4 VXL, you will not have this. This is only a ultimate part. If you have a upgraded one, you may have it, but the ultimate comes with the stock, the normal one doesn't. So then we grab our spur here, and we're gonna also grab a flathead screwdriver. And no bolts in here anymore. We're going to slowly press here, just put it up there and just slowly like push. Don't put much pressure because we don't want to break anything. Just hold it by that piece right there, and we can just fiddle around with this a bit until it pops off. Oh, there it is. Just a bit of pushing. It should be pretty stuck on there. And now you can slide it right off. This is your old spur, and if you only have like these half tooths snapped off, I recommend you to keep it. Because maybe one day when you break another one, you have this one as a spare. It will just be a bit noisy, but depends on what you did to it. Like if it's fully stripped, like don't. But if you have like some half teeth missing and it's just loud, then you could just keep it as a spare one day. So now we are just going to open our new spur. I'm gonna just do it real quick. And now we can just take the spur out of here. What we're now going to do is we're going to take our spur and just, so make sure this is facing up. The little pieces that stick out, this is going to go down. That's going to go to the bottom. And also the lettering will be up top. Don't know if you can see that. Maybe you will, maybe you can't. Just going to put this on. Make sure we align these, these little holes with these bolt holes. I'm just going to align that and just push it on real quick. See how far you can push it on. Just do it as far as you can. I'm gonna just do this off camera. So what I'm actually going to do to make it a bit easier, we're just going to slide this RPM gauge thingy back on. make sure these also align with the other holes. Just click it on, and now we're going to put our bolts back in, and we're going to tighten it in a star pattern. Don't just tighten that one, go tighten. Oh, there goes my bolt, there goes my little screw. Tighten this one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Just go all around. And now after you've tightened these on, you should see that the little bearing, where the bearing sits, it should be flush and the bearing should be able to slide on fully. And now we have done that, we can reinstall this into the car. I'm gonna grab the car and I'll show you how. So it's gonna be a bit tricky doing it one-handed, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide this in. And then we're gonna make sure this lines up here with the center shaft and just push. Just twist it a bit. And now when it's fully in, you could see it sits right. And it does right now. And now if you have done this, you're just gonna put your back end back onto this thing. But if you have not changed the gearing, so the gear you took off is the same as you just put on there, you should not have to change your gear mesh. Well, if you have adjusted it because your old pinion wore down, then you have. But I'm running stock gearing, so I can just use that little thingy. So I'm in the end, I'm gonna just loosen it and tighten it back up because I think it's a bit tight. And I pushed it a bit. So if you push it to this side, that side, it'll get a bit tighter even with this. So you have still a little bit of adjustment, but not too much. So I'm gonna just put this rear end back on here and I'll show you when it's on. So it is back, and now we're going to put these bolts back in. Make sure you put them back where you got them from, because these the bottom ones on mine are shorter than the top ones. I do not know if that's with the normal version of the Rustler 2, because this one is the ultimate, so it has the chassis brace, and that comes with longer bolts for up top. So maybe they are the same length, but just try and put them back where you got them from. So I have put all the screws back in, and now we're going to see if it sounds good. Gonna make. That sounds pretty good. So now just put a lipo in it, and don't rev it up yet. We're gonna put it on a stand with the wheels off the ground, and we're just gonna give it a little bit of throttle, just to see, does it sound good or is it gonna sound horrible. If you have done this correctly, you should now be able to do a little bit of throttle. And you should hear the car sound like it would do when it's not broken. It should sound good again. It should not make any weird noises, because if it does, just go check if you did all these steps correctly. And if you did that correctly, you could check your gear mesh by just removing this whole center brace. And then, yeah, you can just remove one little screw under here. And then you can slide it off. And then you can just see how your gear mesh is. And if that's perfect and you still hear a noise, you should just have to check your diffs, because that could probably be your issue then. So yeah, I'm just gonna test it out, so I'll see you there. So sorry for it being so dark, but now your car should be pretty good. So what you do want to watch out for is you want to kind of run in the gears. So I would recommend to just ride one battery pack, one lipo, without actually full punching it, slow acceleration. Just be a bit like careful on your throttle. And if you hear any weird noises, just go check it out. You don't want to break your spur or anything else just because you like messed a screw or something in the first time. So I wish you guys a good day, and hopefully you can ride your Rustler again. So with that, CK Performance out!